All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the daily update on my 1000 day challenge. This is day 273, so let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, the balance remains the same as a small increment of what I mentioned. I did close trade in terms of my favor in terms of Ethereum wise. Right now, I'm still in a couple of long setup, both in terms of my main trading account and also my experimental setup. But let's see how things goes. Generally, the market do look a little bullish, especially in the past 1 to 2 hours, when my Bitcoin actually does make a break above the 55K mark, quite decently strong. Yeah, so I'll talk more about it in terms of market structure later on. In terms of the daily market structure update, you'll notice that Nasdaq and actually KWAP actually have like a switch in terms of opposite. Yesterday, KWAP was bullish, and right now it's actually neutral. And right now, Nasdaq is actually back to bullish in that manner. But if you look in terms of the daily, in terms of the price action candlestick itself, what you do see that we are still hovering nicely above here, which in my opinion, you can see that even though we tried to break up above and close above, we actually didn't manage to maintain. And right now actually has already opened. So if you're looking at yesterday candlestick itself, I would say that yes, even though we did open and close above the new all-time high on the S&P 500, to bear in mind that this candlestick itself does show signs of exhaustion because price was actually pushed downward even though buyers was actually keenly interested to buy it up. All right, and similarly on the Nasdaq, if I'm not wrong, you're seeing a similar pattern. So we actually tried to make a new all-time high. We actually failed in more bearishly, we actually closed with a red kind of a bearish exhaustion kind of candlestick itself. But nothing too much to be of a bigger scale kind of thing. You can see the price very much maintained above this 20 exponential moving average, because to show that even though comparing to the past 20 days itself, using the exponential moving average as a guidance, people are still very much more interested to buy even when price is very much higher than the past 20-day average price itself. So this is definitely a good sign. Although on the MACD you see reduced momentum, but momentum is one thing, price action is another thing. All right, so nothing too much to fancy about. And if you look in terms of ASHR, things still looks to be good. We're actually consolidating near these above this high region over here. So to me, things are still looking great. As long as we do not close below it once again, I will still be tentatively bullish. You can actually draw this as one of the key resistance to be of interest, I would say. All right, and finally, if you look in terms of KWAP wise, we actually had a bearish engulfing candlestick, which is not as ideal because like I mentioned, I did say that it's actually good to maintain above these 200 simple moving at least. But do bear in mind that the bad news yesterday was that, if I'm not wrong, China did announce news that there is potential, there's potential rumors that Tencent could be the next one that is hit after Alibaba itself. So let's see how things goes. So of course, tech is going to be a key topic in terms of the China market itself, and KWAP is mainly of the tech stocks. So yeah, it's definitely going to be hit. So potentially we could see further downside. If it does, be more interested to add in cost tentatively, even with regulatory setback. I do see it as a temporary kind of setback. It may not be as bullish as it is previously was, but other than that, I still have much higher hopes in terms of tech stocks in general, I would say. All right, with that said, finally for Bitcoin itself, I did mention that this 20 exponential moving average is the key. And today we're actually trying to break above it for the fourth time itself. So it seems like fourth time could be a challenge on the daily chart. So tentatively, I would want to see to break even above this 50 simple moving average, which is currently around 56.9K or 57K region. A nice break above that with a nice volume increase, that will be a good sign. Otherwise, tentatively, we could still have somewhat like a bearish kind of somewhat like a pullback kind of retracement, in which case we could actually see further downside momentum to retest for a lower low, or even to retest for a double bottom kind of pattern before we see a more substantial move, which in my opinion is actually a bullish sign because it gives it further time to consolidate, giving rise for the weekly chart in terms of the moving average to catch up as well. So you can see that we do close somewhere around here. The 20 exponential moving average will be closing at around 55.8K compared to last week, which is 44.7K. So of course, this week itself is still not close. The moving averages is still not finalized yet. So we still have a couple of days to go. In fact, I think 2.5 days and so. So let's see how price react to it. But closing above this 20 exponential moving average would be a good sign, especially when we see that we've rejected one, twice, and the third times for 3 days previously. All right, with that said, I'm not entering any major trade in terms of the 4-hour time frame itself, like what I mentioned, the potential setup was to see that there was some sort of reversal in bounce at this 50 simple moving and what I mentioned. Over here, this was a potential setup. I did see that one over here. I did see that if we do have a rejection over here, we see a strong bounce over here. The volume didn't have a strong confirmation, which is why I didn't enter. But even then, you could have entered, and this could have been a potential risk to reward. Good setup. You can enter somewhere along here with a stop loss right below there. And yeah, still have a risk to reward around here at 56.7K. So yeah, you have a tight stop loss in that perspective. There will be a potential setup, but I didn't take that, like what I mentioned. Go for more higher probability trade and then still stick to the trend following kind of strategy that I go for. But not wrong to go over here if you're trading purely based on price action itself. With that said, that's the end of today I have for you guys today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.